Thought he'd be a professional baseball player. Has the only country album in the 64-year history of the Billboard 200 to spend its first 7 weeks at #1. The last artist to spend that many weeks at #1 was Whitney Houston in 1987. In 2023, he broke the record for most songs in the Billboard Hot 100 by a single artist. Welcome to Bespoke Folks and Tales, where we combine the entertainment of storytelling with the fun of trivia. We tell trivia stories inside out. Do you know who I'm talking about? Let's go! His palms were sweaty, and he readjusted the weed eater in his grasp. The sweat poured down his forehead and into his eyes. It streamed down his back, soaking his shirt and the waistband in his pants. This sucks, he thought. All the same, he kept on working in the hot Tennessee sunshine. He had a job to do, and he wouldn't leave until he'd finished. That same work ethic should have carried him to a professional baseball career, and it would have too. If he hadn't blown out the tendons in his elbow, he'd probably be playing at least on some semi-pro team somewhere as a shortstop or pitcher. At least he could listen to music while he worked. A playlist of Breaking Benjamin, Nickelback, and Lil Wayne helped ease his mind as he continued to fight through the heat, the noise, and the dirt around him. After work, he drove back home, adrift in the fog of his thoughts. A creeping feeling that landscaping would be the rest of his life had started weighing on him. His mom sat watching some singing show on TV. Music had always been a part of their family. But Mom worked as a teacher, and Dad was a preacher. Music might have eased the mind during the daily struggle, but it's not like a small-town boy like him had a lot of opportunity in it. You should try out for this show, his mother told him. He smiled and made a noise to deflect the thought. No, honey. I really think you need to try out for this show, she continued. He looked up from the sandwich he was making, finally taking some interest in what she was saying. What is it? Pass me those whiskey glasses? He asked, trying to be casual. The voice, it's a singing show. I think you'd be really good at it. It would at least get you out of here for a while, she said with a smile, sensing the weight that had settled on him lately. If you'll drive, he told her. Later, he stood on the stage in front of the judges. Once again, his hands were sweaty. He'd made it to the playoffs, but he didn't have a good feeling about this round. They'd encouraged him to sing pop songs, and he had. But then he sang a country song when given the opportunity. The lights made him feel like he should be melting. Sure enough, he didn't make it to the next round. He could see the sadness in his family's faces for him. After the show, they came to comfort him. Sergio, one of the vocal coaches on the show, came to talk to him. He offered to help him polish his voice. He had real talent. He just needed a little more work. He took the opportunity in stride. Some things in life are out of your control. Being the best you can be isn't. I didn't feel like I was the best I could have been. He practiced harder. Later, he moved to Nashville, and it set in motion the events that would catapult him to superstardom. Our everyman rock star has been racking up awards ever since. Authentic, charismatic, and relatable, Morgan Wallen's strong work ethic has placed him at the top of the charts. He has the only country album in the 64-year history of the Billboard 200 to spend its first 7 weeks at #1. The last artist to spend 10 weeks at that spot for that many weeks was Whitney Houston in 1987. In 2023, he broke the record for most songs in the Billboard Hot 100 by a single artist. At what point did you know who I was talking about? Drop me a comment below if you knew it was Morgan Wallen, and I'll see you next time on Bespoke Folks and Tales. If you liked that video, you'll like this one too. Check it out!